now that you've all kind of taken a minute to think about your journey with mental illness so far, I'd like to kind of ask you, using a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, how do you feel your ability to cope with their symptoms is today? We're going to start from my left, and if you're comfortable sharing, please do, but if not, you can just say pass.
I would say that mine's a 10.
Okay.
Obviously, like, I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder, but I don't really see it interfering with my life.
Okay, so you'd say you're able to cope all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a regular person.
Okay, well, regular people definitely have anxiety too, but I understand that you don't feel like you do, so that's okay too. What about you?
I would say mine is like a 3 because like sometimes I can deal with it and sometimes I can't. So.
Okay, so for a 3, maybe you can occasionally deal with it, but the majority of the time you can't. Does that sound about right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about you?
I would say a 5. I feel like I am pretty good at dealing with it, like most of the time, but depression and anxiety are still, like, have a negative impact on my life, so.
So it sounds to me kind of like you're all in different places as far as coping goes, but you all do have some sort of a coping mechanism or coping skills or something you do. What is kind of most helpful for you in coping? Anyone can speak, or anyone can share.
I mean, I don't really feel like I have anything, like, if it's a really bad, like, anxiety attack, then I don't deal with it, and if it's not so bad, then I do.
So your coping kind of depends on how severe your anxiety is, or how, okay, that makes sense. Thank you for sharing.
I like to journal and go on walks, so I think that's a good, like, thing for me to do to kind of relieve some of my anxiety or depression, but I would really like to have more support from the people in my life.
Okay, so would you say you have really good kind of coping skills for yourself on an individual level, but you'd like more support from other people?
Yeah.
Okay, now that we've kind of thought about the past and the present, I'd like us to look into the future. At the end of this group, what would your ideal situation be, or your ideal ability to cope? Kind of what are you hoping your life to look like at the end of this?
I mean, I just don't, like I said, I don't feel like I have a problem, so I don't really see any difference, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So your kind of ideal life is right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else?
I mean, I feel like I need a lot of improvements and, like, be able to be more open since there is so much shame with my anxiety, and I'm just not sure how to do that.
Okay, well that's kind of common. Dealing with that shame is a really common thing, so you're definitely not alone.
For me, the ideal situation for dealing with my anxiety and depression would just be having that understanding from my friends and family and kind of like getting rid of the shame around it so that they did understand and could help me during times where I'm feeling more anxious or depressed. So that would kind of take away from how often that happens, hopefully.
It kind of sounds like your end visions are really similar. Does that sound that way to you guys? Do you guys feel similar? How does kind of hearing everyone in the group talk make each of you feel?
I mean, I just feel like maybe I'm not so alone. Like, if we have the same goals, then maybe we can work together to accomplish them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's like reassuring and feels good to be able to be with people who do understand me and care and aren't judging me for anything I say.
Is talking about mental illness generally a pretty uncomfortable subject for you guys? Is it less uncomfortable here?
I mean, after hearing Carrie and Emily, maybe I could talk a little bit about my anxiety.
Okay, well, would you like to share now, or do you want to wait a little bit?
I'll wait.
Okay.